Well, good evening, everybody. This is meteorologist Andrew Pineiro outside in some pretty nice conditions. Beautiful blue sky here. Let me show you. There's not even a single cloud out here. It's absolutely gorgeous. There's a light breeze, and if you look in the very distance, I don't know if I can zoom in. Let me try. There we go. Way out there. There's still a big snow mound in this parking lot. Now, we may have a bit more snow on the way. So originally over the weekend when I was forecasting, I really didn't see anything in terms of any kind of significant snow. However, as of the 5 p.m. updates, that's changed quite a bit. So we may be seeing another nor'easter. We'll talk a little bit more about that later in this video, but overall, the National Weather Service has put up winter storm watches out for a lot of the region. They are saying 4 to 9 inches. That this could be the evening commute on Wednesday, not necessarily Tuesday anymore. But the setup originally, I was saying, was there was a chance of a storm coming through on Tuesday, and it may miss south. That's still happening. There is a low pressure system, a coastal storm coming through that's going to be missing us to the south. However, right on the heels of that system is another low pressure system which is turning into this nor'easter. That's the one that has prompted now the winter storm watches. So let's head to the studio and we'll take a look at some of these forecast maps. So in the studio, and it's quite a few hours later than the first part of this video, but there was quite a bit to look at as well. So this is a very difficult forecast. So let's start here by taking a look at the national radar. So let me switch over to my main screen, and here we can see this big system. However, it's still kind of two parts. You have a northern chunk or a part and a southern part. So going into tomorrow, on Tuesday, this is when I was saying over the weekend that we're going to probably have a miss, which it looks like we still are. This is going to miss us on Tuesday, which is the first part. As this comes up into the northeast region, it's going to stay mostly to the south, but that's for Tuesday. Then going into Wednesday, this second part, which is already more north, is going to be pulled in. And it's going to be coming into our area. And it really depends on exactly where the low really goes. And it also has to do with the high pressure that was kind of set up, say, over Greenland. It was more way north of us that was kind of steering these nor'easters. The past 3 we had, this is going to be maybe nor'easter number 4. But it looks like that may be having an effect by not being as strong, so it's allowing this nor'easter to come up a bit more versus keeping the first one south. So, that's the radar. Now going into the warnings, well, I should say watches now. So, everything in the dark blue here, that is a winter storm watch. And with the winter storm watch, let me say click on Westchester County here, for instance. Winter storm watch in effect 6 p.m. the 20th, which is tomorrow, going into the 22nd at 12 a.m. So this is midnight between Wednesday and Thursday. And when I click on this, let's see what it says. Heavy, wet snow possible. Total wet snow accumulations of 5 to 11 inches. And again, this was for Westchester County, with locally higher amounts possible. New York City, Lower Hudson Valley, and Northeast New Jersey. The other thing to take a look at here, 25 to 40 mile, or wind gusts, 25 to 40 miles per hour. So that is something that's going to be a big factor. Whether we get a little bit of snow or a lot, it's going to be blowing snow, which means we may have blizzard-like conditions, if not blizzard warnings out there. Just because a blizzard, by definition, is not the amount of snow. It's not the amount of snow rate. It has to do with, or I should say, it is the snow rate. It's not the total amount of snow. It's the snow rate, the duration, and the visibility. So, visibility has to be less than a quarter mile. Sustained winds have to be 35 miles per hour or more. And then you have to have, I believe it's an inch an hour or more. which we may have all three of those. So blizzard-like conditions may be possible in some areas with this as well. So if you're going over any kind of bridges, Tappan Zee, Mario Cuomo Bridge, I should say, you definitely want to be careful or just avoid that altogether. So let's take a look at some of these models, which it's been a bit of a headache. So this is the RPM. And when we play through this, nothing really too much. It's staying mostly to the south. And even this is the second one that's staying mostly to the south. And it reflects also with the snowfall totals. So this is showing nothing for the Hudson Valley, nothing for northwest or northern New Jersey. Southern New Jersey, that's getting up to say that 6 to 8 inch mark. Maybe a coating to 2 inches for Long Island, even going maybe 2 to 4 inches, going to near the Boston area. That's what this RPM is saying. Now we take a look at this one doesn't have any snowfall accumulations, but this is another one from IBM called the Deep Thunder model. This is similar to the RPM. It has a bit more ice in there. Then the Euro. So this is the first low, which stays again mostly to the south. Maybe a little bit of some accumulations late Tuesday night going into Wednesday. But that second round right here, this is all snow. That's heavy snow. That's what the European's saying. Now the GFS. First round stays mostly to the south. The first low, I should say, then the second low. Yeah, it looks like we get some heavy snow and maybe some very heavy snow along the Twin Forks there. So there may be also some banding, it's called, where you have these very thin streaks of heavy, intense snow that kind of come in as rounds. And then with the GFS total accumulations, nothing too much. Say 2 to 4 inches, maybe a little bit more once you get to southern New Jersey there, which is probably about 6 to 8 inches, or right around there. That purple, kind of matching that 6 inch mark there. So, there's a 6 inch right there, and even going into Pennsylvania right there, say 4 to 6. A couple of 7s out there. And then Connecticut as well. So that's the GFS, which is still lower than what the winter storm watch is saying, which is that 5 to 11 inches. Especially where I was pointing into Westchester County. Westchester County, right about here. That's probably, looks like about here, 1 to 3. That's the GFS. Now the Canadian. This one was actually putting out 16 inches around the lower Hudson Valley on yesterday morning when I was looking. But this one doesn't look like it's going to bring it in as much anymore, even both low pressure systems. But all of them are pretty much saying, look at these tight isobars. So wind's going to be the issue. And the accumulations? Again, it's kind of having these bands set up here for Central Jersey. That's even putting out a 13-inch reading for Central Jersey. Again, this is the Canadians, one of my least favorite, but with this situation, it's good time to have a beer. Good time to have that. Just because, I don't know. This has been a very stressful winter. Just because these forecast models were horrendous. All right, now Icon model, the German model. This one is also saying both rounds of low pressure. And again, right here, there's that banding for Central New Jersey. That was the first low pressure. Then the second low pressure keeps everything pretty much south, staying in southern New Jersey, going down to, say, the Cape May, Delmarva area. Maybe a little bit on the Twin Forks, and then going into Boston. This was the, forgot to show that, the Icon, the German model, snow accumulation. Really nothing for the Hudson Valley, North New Jersey, most of Long Island. Again, just that little Twin Fork area. But there's that little banding area, but it's having it more in Pennsylvania, going into West Virginia a little bit here, going into Northern Virginia, 7 inches right there. So that's the banding that the Icon has. Now the good old NAM, and this is kind of what I'm thinking the National Weather Service is looking a little bit more into. The other biggest thing here, all that pink is ice. So this is having a bit more of an icy storm. Especially, it is still showing that banding, again, central New Jersey going into Long Island, but it's doing it with more with ice on the NAM. And the accumulations, let me just set this here. It's having right around that purple, which is showing up to, say, about 6 inches for the Lower Hudson Valley. Maybe a little spot here going between the border of New Jersey going to Pennsylvania, but then central Pennsylvania is showing up to that 13-inch mark there. So, I don't know what to say with this one. Let me switch back to the main camera. So, again, have a beer. Yeah, Snowfall Total. So I do have a couple of maps. I am going to now put up my first map. Let me just scooch over to the side. Here's the first map, and I'm looking at these with you. So, kind of more of a joke, but kind of also a little bit iffy there, just because, yeah, this is something that we're struggling with. So, yeah, that's 0 to 20. Maybe. Well, that's more of a joke. Anyway, let me switch now to the main snowfall map. So, I'm not going to go as high. However, for now, I'm kind of siding more on the little bit higher amounts. 5 to 10 inches throughout, not all of the Hudson Valley, but kind of going right around Rockland, Westchester. Once you cross the border into Orange County, and we'll say Northern Putnam, that's near that 3 to 5 inch mark. 3 to 5 inch once you get past. Again, I'm kind of going with that banding going through the middle part of New Jersey, even going a little bit into the northern part of New Jersey. But then south of that, once you get to the Jersey Shore and south, 3 to 5 inches right along the Jersey Shore. I'm going to say 1 to 3. Now going into Long Island, very, very tight gradients here. So I'm saying 3 to 5 once you're closer to New York City. Once you get out a bit more east, Twin Forks. And that could be also mixing with some ice as well. Going into Connecticut, this really strict or really tight band. Going through this, like kind of like if you just put a stripe down the center part of Connecticut on a diagonal, going towards the northeast. So that's what I'm officially saying for right now with the Pineiro Preliminary. But this could change. So I would say definitely check back tomorrow, and I'll have another update for you guys to kind of go more into a decent forecast, because tomorrow is where that first low pressure system that's going to be missing us to the south is supposed to be going by. So definitely hit that subscribe button below and the little bell icon right next to that so you get notified whenever I upload another video or I go live. I'm not sure if I'm going to go live tomorrow, but I'll have all that content coming with this next potential nor'easter number 4. Also, I'm still working on my mini-series of how to drive manual. I'm going to probably have one episode a week coming up, so probably Thursday again, I'm going to upload episode 2. Last week, episode 1 was a bit long, but it was a very broad overview, about 15 minutes. Not really as long for the next couple episodes, but I'm going to try and get those out on Thursdays now. Have a great evening, everybody. I'll definitely see you tomorrow in the next weather updates for this next potential nor'easter. Have a great evening.